We're professional here. All right. Hello, friends, and welcome to Shuddy Uppy, Let's Talk King and Queens podcast. My name is Steve Lott, and we have an outstanding show for you today. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Dusty Salisbury, famous for his hilarious King and Queens TikTok reenactments with his family. Dusty, how are you?
What's up, you demented old circus monkeys? I am doing fantastic. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing excellent. You know that. I'm also joined by our lovely co-host, Jenna Maureen, who will try not to fall out of her chair in this episode.
One day I'm actually going to fall out of my chair.
Yeah.
So this is a very special episode because this is our second episode of the week. So you're welcome, all you King and Queen fans. And and it's also another Thanksgiving episode. Before we get to our guests, we're going to do a rating and review of the podcast. This is from our Facebook page. I've watched King and Queens for years and watch an episode almost every night before bed. This is pre Jenna, so Steve and Dusty are a great dynamic duo and bring so much insight to every episode they review. This podcast makes for an enjoyable ride to work every morning. I find myself laughing and enjoying the trivia so much. Keep up the good work, fellas. And that's from John Aaron Knight Sr. So, John, thank you very much. That was a very nice review. And sorry it took us a while because he posted that in October at some point, and I didn't realize we had it up there. So
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we have to figure out our page a little better on Facebook.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, so on to our guests. Today we have not one, but two phenomenal guests for you. They are a husband and wife duo who are professional musicians in a two-person band that sounds like a full rock band. They are from the upstate New York area and tour all around the country. But they are also huge King and Queens fans. Please welcome True. Please welcome Melanie Krahmer and Rich Libutti of the band Sirsy. Guys, what's going on?
We're honored to be the second show in your roster this evening.
That's right.
You're the headliner. The headliner, right?
The headliner. That's right.
So I'm just going to get out of the way. I'm a huge fan, as both of you know, Mel and Rich.
Yes. Yes.
I've started.
It's rumored that you have a Sirsy tattoo.
It is rumored. It is on the old wrist.
Now I'm going to have to listen to
the name
that
of your song.
Yep.
Wish list.
Yep.
Yes. I do have to say something. I got a new phone not too long ago, and I had the live version of Wishless on the phone from the Make Your Own live album side B or something.
Build Your Own Bootleg.
Build Your Own Bootleg. There you go.
Yeah.
Lost it. I lost it. I'm so upset.
We got connections. I can probably hook you.
All right.
Yeah. We can probably find that in the archive.
There you go.
You.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's my favorite version of that song of Wishless. Is that by far?
Do you know what year it was from?
Oh, now you're gonna reverse and put trivia on me?
No pressure. We'll look for it.
You're trying to figure out. Okay.
Yeah, because we released a couple of versions of it. It wasn't the one from the Live in Youngstown album?
No, it was before that. It was
before that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll send you everything we have.
We'll find it.
Awesome. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing tonight? It's the night before.
We're doing great. We're having a holiday night. We baked cookies. We watched some King and Queens. Rich is having beers.
You're having beers.
Surprise, Mr. Rich. So, Rich, what are you having tonight? Because I know you're a connoisseur of the pale ale.
This is a very sweet beer that I'm drinking with the cookies. It's Southern Tier Brewery. It's actually called Holiday Cookie Pale Ale.
Look at that! Nice pairing. Nice pairing tonight.
It's a little bit weird, but
Hey,
it's Thanksgiving Eve.
Thanksgiving Eve.
What kind of cookies
the biggest
did you make?
drinking night of the year, right? Oh,
yeah.
oh, man.
We
I love
made
a good
peanut
craft
butter
beer.
cookies tonight.
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
too.
Okay, so we had two things going on here: peanut butter cookies, and Dusty loves craft beer.
Love it.
Yeah, Jenna asked what kind of cookies peanut butter cookies. We were like craving cookies, and we looked around what we had the ingredients to make,
from
and it was
scratch.
peanut butter. They would be better if they were peanut butter chocolate chip, but we didn't have any chocolate chips.
Listen.
So they were still good though.
Beggars can't be choosers, Mel.
Right.
Where you guys live at? I need some cookies.
We're in upstate New York. Where are you at, Dusty? New Jersey, right?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
North Carolina.
Okay, that's a hike.
And so's
Yeah,
Jenna.
yeah. Funny, we
Jenna's in
figured
North
out
Carolina
we
as well.
only live like an hour away from each other.
Not even
Really?
that. Yeah, we're like right
and
down the
you're
road from
literally
each
like
other.
15 minutes from my
Okay.
parents. So
Yeah.
Okay. We tour a lot in North Carolina.
Oh,
We're in
okay.
Charlotte often, and Wilmington, and Raleigh, and yeah.
When do you guys come back to North
Winston-Salem.
Carolina?
okay.
February. We're gonna come
Well, we'll
back in
have to go.
February.
What part? Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're heading out. We're kind of doing a little bit more of the West stuff then. So we're doing Winston-Salem, Asheville, and what's the other one? Where are you guys? Whereabouts are you?
You don't have to give us your exact
Let me
location.
give you my
I want GPS coordinates. Yeah, I want
Yeah,
GPS
right.
coordinates, longitude, latitude.
We're near Fayetteville,
Okay.
Listen,
Vietnam.
if you guys, and I'm being 100% serious, if you guys get a chance to see Sirsy, and I'm not
Heck
talking
yeah.
just to Dusty and Jenna, I'm talking to everyone who's listening. If you get a chance to see Sirsy, take that chance because you will not be disappointed.
I love rock music, so I'm
Oh,
definitely
it's
gonna check this
Dusty,
out.
it's from note one, you'll be hooked.
Jenna, we're taking a road trip to
That
wherever we're
sounds
playing in
awesome.
North Carolina. I'm not even
Let's do
joking.
it.
Seriously, we're gonna you take the husband, I'll take
I've
the
never
wife.
been
and-
to
you go.
Asheville, so I've been wanting to go. So that seems like it's a perfect
Heck
opportunity.
yeah.
Well, and we're playing a craft beer brewery called One
Dusty
World
sold.
Brewing. So it's checking. I don't know if they have cookies, Jenna, but it would check all the boxes
Right.
if they did.
Asheville has some of the best breweries in North
Oh,
Carolina.
yes.
So
yeah.
definitely
Absolutely.
gotta check that
Yeah.
out.
Sorry, Steve,
Yeah,
you're left
sure.
out.
Don't tempt me. I'll drive or fly down there. All right. Awesome. So yeah, we got the. I'm excited. I can't
Heck
even
yeah.
talk. All right. So to get back to King of Queens.
Yes.
Let's do
For
it.
everyone, for those of you who have not listened to the show, our format is pretty cool. We do a random episode every show. We go through some trivia. We go through our favorite quotes and ponderings of the episode, and then we rate and review. So I am looking forward to it. Mel and Rich, I think you guys know the format. You said you listened to some of the podcasts.
Yes,
so
indeed.
Absolutely. Yes.
you're all over it. So with that, we will do our second Thanksgiving episode tonight. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
We are going to be
making me
doing
hungrier.
season 6, episode 9, entitled "Thanks, Man." Written by Michael J. Whitehorn and David Litt, directed by Rob Schiller, and it originally aired on November 26th, 2003. So this episode is almost 18 years old.
Oh my God.
Episode synopsis: At Thanksgiving, a shabby-looking man asks Doug if he can use their telephone to call a friend because his car broke down. Carrie does not trust the man. That's a pretty straightforward episode synopsis. Jenna, why don't you start with the honors?
All right.
Are you?
Of course, I have
you have
my
your notes printed out?
Holy moly.
all
Look,
over it.
later in the podcast, she's gonna start laminating her notes.
I do have a language.
Telling you. Oh God!
Jenna, I knew I liked you.
However, I
knew
may
I
have
liked
broken
you,
it.
Jenna.
Like I think I used the wrong laminating paper, so I kind of just turned it off, and it's been stuck in there. And now I just take my stuff to school.
I see.
I don't have time to deal with
jeez.
that.
The classic over
Yes,
lamination
yes.
debacle.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
It's only good for 500 laminations.
All right. So first question Oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
What was Carrie? I should probably start wearing my glasses. What was Carrie doing to the turkey at the beginning of the episode?
She was basting it.
and
Correct,
putting it in the
correct.
oven.
Yes.
There we
Good
go.
job.
Trying to put it in the oven.
Trying to put it in
Yeah.
the oven. Absolutely.
Trying to
All
put
right.
it-
How many people is Carrie cooking for?
10.
10.
Very good. Very
Nice.
good. 10
Good.
people. 2 for 2.
And then what was in the microwave?
Broccoli.
Okay. What?
But then Doug tried to put a pizza in there. And that was one of my notes for one of my favorite quotes.
Oh.
Because she said that the pizza pepperoni flavor was gonna leak into the broccoli. And he said, and the parade will be thrown in the
I have that written down as one of my favorite ones too.
That is an awesome quote. And I love how he goes, I'm just trying to catch a 30-second ride. So funny. All right.
All right.
3 for 3, guys. You're starting off hot.
All right. Who shows up at the door while Doug is setting the table?
Nick Offerman.
Nick
Correct.
Offerman. Yeah.
The
Yes.
man with the patch.
Yeah.
Did they ever say his actual name, his character's name in the episode?
Nope.
No.
They never did, right?
No.
Patchy the pirate.
Patchy the Pirate. Actually, I think in the credits or on IMDb, I think they just call him the man.
Yeah.
Yes. They
Yep.
do. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So Jenna, I know where you're going with this one.
I don't like that we don't know his
We-
name. But it's not as bad.
So
as,
we
at
just-
least we know like the like he's just some random person. Nobody knows him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
because we just did season 1, episode 10, when they're in the supermarket, and Doug meets a random guy, or at least he thinks he's random, but the guy knows him. So Jenna did not like the fact that we didn't know this guy.
And we never found out who he was or how Doug
we
knew
never
him.
found
Like,
out.
Who his name was. Yeah.
And the score and her score reflected it. But
That was awesome. They had Nick Offerman in this episode. I
Yeah.
love Nick
Yes.
Offerman. He is
Yeah.
He's
hilarious.
awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
this is
We had.
this is pre. I mean, this has got to be pre Parks
Yeah.
and Recreation.
Parks
Parks
and
Yeah.
and Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
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 So he wasn't really like that quote unquote big of a
No.
star yet.
Yeah.
He had a bit part on the George Lopez show.
Okay.
Before Parks and Rec, he was
Yeah,
like a
he did? I
mechanic
didn't
in
know that.
George Lopez.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
And he dated, I think, George Lopez's mother. I want to say
yes.
something.
Yes.
It was like a really
Oh my
inappropriate.
God, I
didn't know that.
Yeah.
He was much younger than her.
That
I
is
didn't
insane.
realize that was him.
Rich
Yeah.
coming
That
from the
is
Oh
top
my
rope
gosh.
with the.
You just
That
want
is awesome.
Yeah.
Nick at night, baby.
Yes.
Nick at night, 2 a.m.
Yes,
trying
Nick
to
at
fall
night.
asleep.
Yes.
Yes.
I love Mr. Ron Swanson, aka Nick Offerman.
Yes.
So,
God.
Yes.
So funny. So funny.
Yeah. We had somebody on our podcast that said that his mom or some
His
Nick
father?
father
Nick
was a
father.
mayor of Chicago or
Or,
something like
or
that?
some not Chicago, but some town near Chicago.
Yeah, something like that.
Like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like his
Yeah,
real life dad.
every time like I see Nick Offerman, I always think the movie. What's that movie with him and Jason Sudeikis, where he has to carry like drugs in his RV?
Oh, Meet the Millers.
We're the Millers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
where he
Millers,
starts
yeah.
like
Yes.
he starts fingering Jason Sudeikis' ear.
Yeah.
That every time I see Nick Offerman, I always see that part for some reason. I don't know why. It's so funny. But yes, Nick Offerman is the man. Love it.
Yeah.
He is, and now he's the voice of a new cartoon show. Have you guys ever seen the show The Great North?
Oh yeah, that's right on Fox.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah,
dad. Yeah,
He plays
he's the
Beef.
dad's voice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's doing a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah, he's all
We're
over.
president of the Nick
got
He
Oh,
Offerman
watches
fan
too
club.
much TV, you guys. That's what. Are you getting that? Are you
Hey,
picking that up?
that's
We're
cool.
laying
Hey.
it down. Are you picking
Oh
it
yeah.
up?
Oh yeah.
That's funny. Which eye? I'm going to take
Sounds
over,
good.
Jenna. Which eye is the patch covering?
Left.
Ooh,
Left.
He didn't even hesitate.
Yep.
Wow.
I know that. I just know that Holly said, and his eyes are so blue. That was one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one,
Yep.
but yeah. Okay.
What is Doug and Carrie's address?
3121 Aberdeen. I wrote that down in my notes.
Seriously, I think I found my
killer
people.
notes.
They take notes. They watch a lot of TV.
That's right.
They're in a band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you. It checks all the boxes. Checks all the
Plus, Jenna, we have a mailing list for the band that is part of a larger binder with color-coded
gosh.
tabs. So
Oh,
just letting
look
you
at
know.
that.
And there's a zippered bag that holds pens and markers for people to sign up on the mailing list and for us to autograph CDs. You would love the binder, Jenna.
I think y'all just became best
We
friends.
did.
What I've gleaned from you, you would love it.
Oh, that's so fun. I'm finding out more and more that I didn't realize you guys were that,
Nerdy? You can say
No, not nerdy. No, I was gonna say organized. I mean, I know you guys are organized. You have to be. They travel around in this van, and they pack so much stuff in it. It's not even funny. And like all of a sudden, like I've helped load it in, and I'm like, where's this going? And Rich just plays Tetris with all the instruments. And
Can I
like
time
that.
out on the questions? I want to know how you guys met
Oh.
each other. Like how did
There you
Steve
go.
and the band meet?
Oh God.
Well, we're gonna let Steve take that. Because I remember it was Providence, Rhode Island,
Yes.
right? Wasn't it Providence?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And it was a place called Firehouse 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you take it.
You're gonna let
from
me
there.
take it
This
from there.
sounds like
So.
it might be an interesting story.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Colleen's not going to listen. So it was my best friend Chris's birthday, and he was living in Providence at the time, or somewhere near Providence. And let's just say we have different tastes in music, like me and him. But for his birthday, he's like, "Oh, I want to see this band." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, I'm down." So he was playing some of the music in his car, and we were, running errands or something. And I'm like, oh, sweet. This sounds awesome. Well, I'm telling you, when you guys see these people perform in person, something happens. I don't know if they're like into witchcraft or something. I mean, it's great music. Don't get me wrong, guys. But something happens.
It's different live.
It's very
totally different
it's
live.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good live. And like I had a couple of, adult beverages. I don't drink that much, but so the song "Oh Billy" came on, and I was just like, I know this song, and I just had a blast the whole night. I ended up winning a CD for, I don't even remember why. I won a CD.
I would gather probably for a dance contest based
Probably,
on what I know.
probably, and
Have you seen Steve
No,
Lockford
now
on the
we
dance
need
floor?
to.
Uh-oh.
It is something to behold.
we've never
Uh-oh.
met in person. We've never met in person. Us three.
Oh, it's something.
So let's just say the night ended with Melanie signing my bald head,
You're what?
like the top of my head.
Oh, you're bald.
Yeah, the top of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
I'll let you guess where I signed.
It was such a fun night.
It was really fun.
It was a-
that was
And
a
then
really
you guys
fun
have
night.
stayed in touch.
was.
So how
And
long have you guys known each other?
Yes. 10 years? You want to
Nice.
say 10 years?
It's almost been
Wow,
10, I
that's so
think.
cool.
I think that was in 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's ridden in the van, and we've gone out to breakfast together afterwards. We know his whole family.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've met all his kids and his wife. Like, we're all like, we're friends
That's awesome.
now.
That's
It's
awesome.
not fans in a band. We're actually friends.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very fun. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
That's
So
awesome.
so that's a little insight into my history there. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen often where I.
I've heard your wife told us that you are typically a bit shyer. And when you go to Sirsy shows, he loses his shyness. And let me tell you what, you guys, there's a song of ours called Waiting for Rain that Steve and his friend Chris, the one from the story, made up a dance routine to. And they have taught it to numerous
my
fans around the
gosh.
country. And they even did a video on one of our live streams where
God.
Steve did a tutorial and
did.
taught fans at home.
Okay, so
Oh
is it
my
on your
God.
Facebook
Oh my
page
God.
that I could find this?
It's on our YouTube. It's
okay,
on our YouTube.
okay, I'm gonna have
Oh.
to check this out.
Gotta find it.
I hope it's buried
Yeah.
so deep.
Oh,
in there
I'll
Gotta find it.
Yeah.
Jenna, you find it, you let me
I'm
know.
looking.
Pandemic life.
Yes.
There's a move like this with the fingers coming down when I'm singing Waiting for Rain. There's a move like this. And to see two guys from the Navy do this move on the dance floor together it's
It's life changing.
it's
Like-
beauty.
Life-changing, yes.
It is.
Yes.
It's pure beauty.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Steve,
So-
you and Colleen need to come to Asheville for sure.
I think
Yes.
I'm down.
Teach us to dance.
I'm down. I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Seriously, though.
we've never met in person, so yeah, that would be perfect.
Right? Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome.
All right. So now the fans of our show know a little more of the insight of the Steve.
That was an
Ball.
awesome story. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the questions there. Jenna.
Yep.
That was
Let's do it.
Curious
We're
minds
crushing
wanted
it.
to
We're
know.
crushing it.
You guys are crushing it, Rich. You guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
Where is the eye patch man? Oh, the eye patch man's buddy coming from?
Baltimore,
Baltimore.
4-hour drive.
Yep, that's an absolute correct answer there. And that you guys drive a lot, so from Queens to Baltimore, it's probably about 4.
It is. That's pretty accurate.
pretty
Yeah,
accurate,
right?
traffic considered. Yeah.
Okay, so they're at the dinner table, which is pretty much the whole episode. But at one point, Spence is trying to change the subject.
Oh.
Yeah. What does Spence say to try to change the subject?
Oh, what was the freaking movie? It was
I
something
got
that we
it.
didn't know what it was.
I got it.
Mum and Shots.
I wrote it down. He said, "Have you guys seen the latest Wim Wenders film?"
Yes.
And I googled it.
Oh, I'm glad you Googled it, Melanie, because I'm gonna ask.
And it said
what
that
is Wim
because
Wenders?
I couldn't figure out how
Yeah,
you
we didn't
spelled
know
it.
what it was.
It's WIM
Yes.
WENDERS, and it said he's a German filmmaker. I didn't go any more depth than that.
And I didn't either. That's all I needed to know because I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that was absolutely correct. I'm glad.
had that up here.
Jenna,
Had that on this
Jenna, did you know that Wim Wenders was
I
a
did
German?
not. And honestly,
filmmaker?
I must have missed that in the show. Like,
It sounded like
okay,
he mumbled
yeah,
a
'cause
little. Like I
don't
was
remember
like,
him
"What did he
asking
say?"
that, but leave it to Spence.
I thought it was made up.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was going to be not a real person.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I could see Spence watching like a German film and being,
And
into it.
thinking other people
Absolutely.
With his mom.
Yeah, with his mom. Yeah.
With his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. You already answered this question. What color is the Patchy's eye that we see? Blue.
So blue.
Still
I-
blue. What does Carrie make Doug do so everyone is not distracted by Patchy?
Close the curtains.
Close the curtains. Yep.
Ghost Burns, yeah.
And then he does like a little, Doug kind of joke where he starts, I don't remember what he says. But he's like, gobble, gobble, gobble. or
He's
something
like,
that.
shove drumsticks.
Drumsticks,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Impression was on point. That is for sure.
I was
Yes,
gonna say-
it was.
I was going to say the same thing. He sounded like an actual
did.
turkey.
Yes.
He totally did.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was dubbed in or what, or he actually did it. I mean,
Yeah.
I was amazed. He was like,
Listen, every time I hear that sound, I spit out my drink because it is just point. It's so funny. So funny.
I think that was full
I
on
think so,
Kevin
too.
James.
Yeah?
Yes, it was. Yes. Yes.
He can make
Yeah.
some pretty funny sounds. that
Yes.
Rich, let's hear your best turkey impression.
Oh. I got nothing. That was horrible. I got a good chicken.
There you go.
I got no turkey.
Oh my god. Jenna.
Oh, we got to hear all these impressions
Yeah.
now. So
We gotta
Oh
hear
my
'em all.
god,
Jenna?
no. I don't even know how to do it.
come on, Jenna.
Gobble gobble.
I did mine.
I'm turkey.
Gobble gobble. Gobble mother. All right, Dusty, you're up.
All right.
That was pretty good.
All right.
I almost spit out my
What?
drink.
Here we go. Ready?
All right.
It
Melanie.
sounded like you said booger, booger, booger.
No, that sounded more like Scooby Doo.
Hold on.
I did it.
We gotta hear
I
Melanie.
sounded
We
like
gotta hear
Scooby Doo.
It sounded
I
like
think it sounds like Scooby Doo.
Ooh, Shaggy. Oh my god.
Oh, I could do
That was
Scooby.
really bad.
Oh my god.
Woo!
I smell another animation coming.
Yes. Oh my God.
Did you guys see that animation? I don't know if you caught that. We had one of our clips animated by someone. It was like a minute clip.
Oh no, I didn't see
Oh,
No,
that.
my
I didn't
God.
see that. That's
So funny.
awesome.
So
Yeah, it's
funny.
awesome.
Jenna falls off her chair. I don't know why they made her
And then
fall off her
I
chair.
don't even get back up to talk. Like, I talk from the ground. But
Is that on your Facebook page?
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
made it
yeah.
so
It's on the
funny.
Facebook
Okay.
page.
Yeah,
It
they
was-
did
It
good.
was hilarious.
Awesome.
All right, Jenna or Dusty, take number
Dusty,
11.
go ahead, because I already did some.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm sorry, I've been taking
Oh.
pictures, so that's why, like, because last episode I was taking pictures, so I didn't have it pulled up.
Oh,
But
all
I
right.
got it pulled up right now. What question? Are we
That's
on?
what she said.
11.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Wrong show.
I
Rick.
love it.
Wrong show.
I love it. All right. What question are we on
11.
again?
11.
11.
11.
Rich knows.
All right. Question 11. Where does Spence work?
The subway.
The toll booth and the subway. Or he is it then it's not a toll booth. He sells
He's
the
a token.
There you go.
token taker.
Token
There you go.
taker in the
There you go.
subway.
He sells tokens in the subway. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, do they even need them?
Yeah.
That whole Metro card thing.
Right.
Yeah, there's no more token guys in the subway.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, is there not? I mean, I haven't been in I've never been in a subway
No.
before.
No, and they're getting rid of all the toll booth people too.
Oh,
on the
wow.
freeways,
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, they're demolishing all the toll booths and putting all Easy Pass in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
I'd
guys
love
would
to go on a
definitely know
subway
that. You travel a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Question 12. What does Doug think happened to Patchy's eye?
Oh, I don't remember what he said.
This is funny.
This
It was someone was shooting a missile
Yeah.
with something and he blocked
Elementary
it with his
school.
eye.
Yes.
That was in elementary school.
Someone was shooting a missile at an elementary school kids, and he blocked it with his eye. Right? Is
Yeah,
that
there
it?
you go. Yep. The man's a hero.
that might be my favorite quote of the whole episode. He goes, the man, after he says all that, he goes, the man's a hero, like all serious and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so fun.
Yep.
Oh my god. Would you stop a missile? Would you stop a missile with your eye or with anything, Rich?
No.
No.
No. Because that would be futile.
What about with your guitar, or like a guitar riff? You know.
I could stop a missile with my guitar, but maybe not my eye.
There you go.
My eye.
Oh. All right. What are we on? 13.
Yes, sir. You want me to read it?
Yeah, man.
All right. Question number 13.
All right.
What do Doug and Deacon pretend they are doing when Patchy comes out of the bathroom?
Straightening the picture outside in the hallway.
So awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awkward.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love when Doug says to him, now you can just relax and eat your dinner.
Yeah.
You don't have to think
Yeah.
about whether my pictures are straight. And Deacon said, like,
And now I can.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That was one of my favorite lines when he was in there, when they were listening to him, and it was like, he's doing number one. Doug was like, he's doing number one, he's washing his hands. Like later on in the episode when Doug started shouting at Carrie and he said, he washed his hands after making.
I thought that was
washed his hands after making. How much more proof do we need? When he said that. I loved when he said making. I thought that was like, because that's
so.
Well,
that's so.
You
like,
parents
making.
know.
He
washed his hands after making.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like an older like expression, right?
Did you make?
Did you make?
Yeah.
All right. 2 more questions, guys. 2 more questions.
Okay.
Who's got the last 2?
Jenna, go ahead.
All right. What does Patchy fix for Major?
Game Boy.
Very good.
By using a pen to hit the reset
With a
button.
sharp object.
Yeah.
I love Spence's reaction.
Yeah.
So funny. All right, and last question. What happens when they are all out on the front porch and Patchy goes inside?
He locks the door and steals all their shit.
Oh, God, Wolf.
All the purses and the silverware and the Game Boy,
Yes,
I
and
think, right? The
there was
TV.
another thing. What was it?
What was it?
Right, yeah.
I don't remember the last thing.
What was
Jenna.
Danny?
I don't
Purses,
What was
the
Danny
silverware.
doing? All.
Miniature
the
TV.
miniature TV.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
Great
Game
job.
Boy. Like, he stole the Game Boy. I don't remember that
So
part.
maybe not. It was the miniature TV.
Yeah,
it must
that's
be the
what it was,
miniature
yeah.
TV. I had it mixed up with the Game Boy.
Major had the Game
Probably.
Boy on him. Probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Game Boys. Bring me back.
I never had a Game Boy. I wasn't.
No.
I never had one.
It's
Me
because you're
neither.
too old. You're too old.
I'm too old. Yeah, no. I'm gonna ask my mom for a Game Boy this year and see what she says.
You probably had the thing that I had. It's a little ColecoVision. Thing where you football thing. Just press buttons really fast.
Yeah, and it's like has like 3 little things, like 3 little possible
Yeah.
outcomes, and that's it. You know,
And that's it. Yep.
that's funny. All right, well, you guys kicked some butt on the
Yeah, good
yeah,
job.
you
on the questions on the trivia.
Yeah.
You guys are kicking ass here. Dusty, do we have our new segment or no? Is that was just for last episode?
Well, I mean, you know what? I would like to start doing that. I mean,
Okay.
we can start, like Nick Offerman was basically the guest that was on this episode. Like, I would like to start doing where like every episode, like we pick out a character or an actor from the show, and we just find out, hey, who is this person?
Like, what's their
let's see
backstory?
What's their backstory, where they're from, and stuff like. The only reason we did it the last episode is because no one knows who it was. We made it more funny, but it would be cool if we can just start picking out somebody from every episode just to find out, where they've been and what movies and shows they've been in and stuff like that.
So, Rich, what do you think
Yes.
Patchy's backstory is? I can. You two are so creative that you got a lot of pressure on you right now.
I mean, clearly he was a criminal.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would have targeted a random house in Queens
On Thanksgiving.
on Thanksgiving Day.
Nobody would suspect
I'm guessing no one would suspect it. I'm guessing earlier that day he got thrown out of a homeless shelter.
Jeez.
And so he was wandering the streets, wondering what he was going to do for his next meal and where he was going to sleep. He was just kind of riffing.
I think he was riffing.
He was riffing.
Riffing.
Okay.
I love it.
And who do you think he actually called? Do you think he called anybody?
Ooh,
That's a
one.
good point.
That's a good question. Melanie, rebuttal?
I don't think he actually called
No?
anybody. I think it was a fake call.
You hit redial, there's nothing, no numbers. Wow.
No, I don't think he called anybody. Although I totally would have let him in the house from the get-go. I would have been a big sucker. I would have let him right in the house, had him join us for dinner.
Yep. That was my
I
question.
would have been a big old sucker. Total open-hearted sucker.
Yep.
Me. How about you?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Especially the big group of people. Maybe
Yeah,
it was
I would
just
have
the two of
felt-
us.
Yeah.
Right. If it was just the two of us,
That's different.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
could see that.
I don't think I would let him in the house.
I mean, you got Lou Ferrigno there.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yes,
come on.
yeah.
Nobody's brought that up
no
yet.
one's gonna kill the Hulk.
Yeah,
Right.
don't
no one
piss
can
him
kill
off.
him.
That's right.
No.
That's
Don't
right.
make him mad. You got Lou
Right.
Ferrigno. You got Doug, who you know he's a big dude and he's very agile. You got Danny. Well, yeah, he's not paying attention, but he could probably do some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Deacon.
Yeah.
Deacon
is.
Deacon's a big dude.
He's like
He is
6
a big
foot,
dude.
right? How tall is
Oh,
he?
he's got to be. Yeah.
He's not a little dude.
No.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
He's athletic. You know, they're always playing basketball and doing stuff like that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to piss him off. You know? So let him in. What's
That's
going to
right.
happen? There, he
right.
was
Yeah.
already in the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had access to knives in the
I'm
kitchen.
with Carrie on this one. I would not have. No.
No.
You would
That's
not
why
let him
10 people
in.
get
You would
murdered.
have kept him out on the porch.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
By my
Deacon made a
wife.
good point in the episode. He was a white guy, and those are the murderers.
That is my
Yes.
favorite quote from the
Yes.
show.
Yes,
that
is a
is so
good quote.
funny. He was
Yeah.
like, what was it? Black dude might steal your wallet, but psychos that chop up families,
Yep.
all white dudes.
He isn't
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
And Carrie was like honking.
Yeah.
Carrie
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
I don't think,
Yeah.
if we're just making up stories here, I don't think he actually needed an eye patch. I think he just put that on. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Oh.
So he could
Yep.
take it off and maybe be less recognized, walking
There you
around the
go.
street.
Ah.
There you go. Nice.
So police are looking for a guy with an eye patch, and he takes it off, and he's fine.
That's brilliant.
It's like
Yep.
in
Yeah.
The Fugitive when Harrison Ford shaves his beard.
Yeah.
I'm bringing you back, aren't I? Right?
yeah.
Do
Melanie.
you think that Holly got her purse
No.
back at the end?
That's so funny.
I'll wait
it's
for
evidence.
I love that part.
It's evidence. You can't get it out of evidence locker.
I think he did call somebody because he did get the address from Doug, and I think they had him, like, whoever he called, meet in the back because he locked the front door.
Right.
And had
To
them
carry
meet in the
everything?
back. Yes, so he can get everything out.
All right.
That's a good
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good point.
No.
That's a really good
Okay.
point.
Time out. This is where I have the problem with this episode, and I'm being 100%
Okay.
serious. I don't like
me.
this episode, and it's going to reflect in my ratings and reviews.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
How is, and I've never realized it till this episode, you have to think about something, okay? Think about how their house is set up. Their front door is on a street, but they have a garage in the back that goes the exact opposite way out. So you're telling me they own a piece of property where they can access the garage from the back from a street and the front from a street?
Well,
In
very
Queens.
often
In
the,
Queens.
the houses, yeah, maybe not, because
And-
usually now like that weird back alley thing.
And haven't
Yeah.
we seen other episodes in their backyard, like that one where they were fighting with the neighbors
Yeah.
about the pool?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no street back there. It was backyard to backyard.
Yep.
Like the fences were all connected.
It's like the black hole. It's like the black hole of plot holes. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, because then where did he take that stuff?
You are Melanie. You're hitting it on the head.
Right.
You're hitting it on the
Wait,
head.
Right? Because he couldn't carry everything that he stole, right?
No.
He stole too many things to carry. Like
And how
that's
did
silver.
and how did he get away? They're all sitting on the front porch. You telling me nobody went around the side?
Maybe they were
Right.
too scared to go. Maybe they're like, we'll
You
just
telling me
let
Lou
him
Ferrigno?
go.
And why wasn't Lou's wife there on Thanksgiving of all days?
True that. True that.
Where's
Yeah,
Lou?
why was he alone on Thanksgiving?
The poor guy. I'm telling you.
And
Maybe
where was Spencer's mother?
Oh, there
Maybe
you go. I
he
didn't even
was
think about
Spencer's
that.
not
They
going to
were
leave
waiting
his
in
mother
line together.
alone on Thanksgiving.
There you go.
They were what, Black
Yeah,
Friday
they're waiting in
shopping?
line for the
There
store
you
stuff.
go.
He's not gonna leave her all alone on Thanksgiving.
She's
True that.
Isn't canon. It's
True
not
that,
canon,
Mel.
this episode.
She
For me, the worst thing about this episode for me, no Arthur. And Arthur is my
Yes.
favorite character.
They did
Yes.
explain that though.
They did.
Oh, barely.
But I missed him. I missed his hijinks.
Yeah. He was upstate. Where upstate? By you guys? By me? You know what?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Nobody
I
knows.
missed his constant screaming.
Yep.
I'm telling you. This episode for me does not do it.
Man, if they would have had Arthur in this episode, that would have been so funny. He'd have been questioning
Right?
that eye patch guy. So,
Oh.
it would have been.
Oh.
God,
It
that would
would've
have
been-
been so funny.
It would have been such a different dynamic.
Yes.
He would have been asking him where he got the eye patch.
Yeah.
He would have been asking about eye patch fashion.
Yep.
He would have been, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Arthur reminds us so much of Rich's stepdad.
Oh, yeah?
He had a lot of the same
Oh, yeah.
same demeanor
Oh,
where
yeah.
he thought things were ridiculous.
Oh, that's funny.
You know.
That's funny.
Not as much yelling.
Not as
but,
much yelling.
A lot of the same facial
No, your stepdad
expressions.
did not yell.
No.
But the way he talked, where he was like, now let me ask you this. Like,
He's very like candid and you know.
That was a good
Yes,
Arthur
yeah, that's
impression
great.
too, and then stepdad impression. Like that was
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember one time we were at a restaurant, and it was kind of it's an old-fashioned restaurant in Rhode Island, which is where I'm from. And I ordered a Blue Moon beer, and they put an orange in it. And I remember he said to me, "Now, Rick, let me ask you this. Why would you put fruit in a perfectly good beer?"
Can't you just picture Arthur saying that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could go on and on. No diners open on Thanksgiving. Come on,
Right. That was a lie.
Yeah.
that was a
I
lie.
think-
That was an outright lie,
Don't you guys think?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
in Queens. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
But they did catch him, right? The police caught him because at the end they're giving their statement to the police.
So maybe they caught him in the backyard.
Maybe.
How did they call the police?
Ooh. Good.
Did they have their cell phones out on the porch?
Maybe.
There's no cell phones.
There's
It's
no cell
2003.
phones, right? They were
Well,
locked out of the house. How did they call the police?
great
Maybe
point.
Lou went to his
telling you.
house and called them from there.
Asked his wife, who was sitting and sulking in the dark
Yeah,
all
exactly.
by herself on Thanksgiving.
Every time we bring up these points, I can already see Steven's rating
know,
for this
just
show going
dropping.
lower and lower and lower.
Lower and
And
lower. Lower and lower.
I did notice that your rating was much lower, like on the poll for this one compared to the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna get lower than that.
Oh God.
If you guys lost your eye, would you go eye patch or would you go eye patch or glass eye?
I'm gonna say glass eye because
It's a tough
you
one.
probably would get less people asking you about it.
Yeah.
or-
It draws less
I
attention
don't think so.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
You guys think a glass eye draws less attention?
than an eye patch.
Oh, I think
Okay. So I know a guy who's got one eye. He's got a glass eye, but instead of making it look like a normal eyeball, it's all white. So that does draw a lot of attention. And the guy's
Yeah.
I have a
I'd make mine a
friend.
dinosaur
We used
eye.
to know a guy with an eye patch.
yeah.
True story.
What's that? What was that?
We used to know a guy with an eye patch.
And he needed it.
True story. And yes, and he was also.
I was about to say, was he a bad guy? Because there's a lot of eye patch guys that are bad guys. They're villains.
he was
A lot of villains out there.
A lot of villains.
Captain Hook.
Yeah,
Hook.
Captain
James
Hook.
Bond.
Yep. Wasn't there like a
Yeah,
James
this
Bond
guy
character?
was. I don't think that he was a villain, but he was.
Cuckoo.
He was a lot of personality. We'll put it that
Okay.
way.
Okay.
So I have a friend
Fair
who he actually had cancer, and so he has his eye was removed, so he has a glass eye. But he has the best. He is just one of the best guys ever. Has the best outlook on life. And there was one time, he's so funny. I used to work with him too, and he he got in a car accident after this happened and everything, and his eye fell out. And if I'll have to double check
Oh my
the
God.
story, but he popped out of the car and he's like, my eyeball. Has anybody seen my? So everybody else was like, oh my gosh. He just says jokes all
When
the
the cops-
time. So funny.
When the cops got there, did they say it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye?
Yeah.
Melanie's got her hand over her mouth. Like,
No. I knew he was gonna say that. I knew it. I knew he was gonna.
oh, that's,
I mean, it's good that your friend has
Yeah.
has a sense of humor.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what do you feel like with the glass eye and his eye? Do you feel that that's doesn't draw?
No,
a lot of
because
attention?
honestly, I don't think I probably would have noticed right away that he even had that if I had not known, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's a very
Yeah.
well done glass eye.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If I had a glass eye, mine would be noticeable. It'd be a baseball or a dinosaur eye. Swear to God.
The dinosaur eye.
That's right. The dinosaur eyes are really cool. I would love that.
Maybe you could have like different ones that you popped in,
Yeah.
depending on
Yes.
your mood,
Yes, there you go.
like with sayings
Angry
on it.
Dusty,
So-
Happy Dusty.
There you go.
So there was a movie in the 90s called Last Action Hero. Anyone remember?
Oh,
It was
yes.
horrible. It was horrible.
What?
I don't
I
know.
loved it.
I don't remember what it was about though.
It was Arnold
I remember the movie,
Schwarzenegger
though.
was in it, and basically
Yeah.
he comes out of a movie or something, and
Yeah.
now he's in real life.
Oh yeah,
Love that
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And the villain had a glass eye, and he would always change it out. So-
Really?
Yeah, really.
I love that movie.
Ah,
It was trash, but it was great.
it was. Yeah, I could see where
It's
it's
a
like one of those
classic, man.
cult classics or whatever.
Yep.
So bad it's good.
Yeah, kind of like one of those things. I don't know if I watched it today. If maybe I'd look at it differently. But what else? Jenna, what else you got? Anything on your notes? Or
Oh yeah, when he had to go to the bathroom, Patch Guy had to go to the bathroom, and Carrie was like, "Why can't he just pee in the bushes? Like you pee in the bushes?" And he's like, "I pee in the back, not the front."
Not
Yeah. Like that makes a difference.
that was a good one. Yeah.
Mel, Rich,
What?
what about you guys? Any other quotes or favorite parts of the
One of
movie?
my favorite quotes, one of my favorite Doug quotes was, "Will you relax?
Yeah.
I let people in here all the time."
Oh my god!
And then when Holly
was a good
was like putting on lip gloss and fluffing her hair.
Yes. Yes.
I think that was probably my favorite line. That, and then when Deacon said, well, I think Spencer said, "Do you think he knows they're talking about him?" And Deacon said, "Well, maybe because we said the word iPad 600 times."
Yeah.
Oh, and then I have another one too. When they were trying to decide if Deacon and Kelly were trying to decide if they should go outside with the kids and stuff, and Deacon's like, "Do you want them to be afraid of the world? They can end up like." And he like
Yeah,
said
right.
it, and Kelly's like, "Pack
Nods
up the
over.
kids, let's go outside."
We're just gonna keep nagging.
Yeah, that one I was like, oh man, that one was kind of what. If just let them out there, or they're gonna keep nagging. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
I love Danny in this one. I mean, because Danny represents me when I'm on Thanksgiving when I'm watching my Bears play. I mean, like when he screamed "fumbling bitch," I lost it when he said that. And then
They had some really good placements.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he said "son of a ass," it sounded exactly what I said last week on our podcast or 2 weeks ago. Just like made up like cuss words, like just randomly. Like when I get mad, like random cuss words will come out. So,
All right, let's move on to ratings and review. If no one else has anything,
All right.
IMDb had 371 user ratings. Gave it an 8.1 out of 10. Don't know why. Ratings from Facebook poll that we had. 22 ratings, 4.0 out of 5, which equates to an 8.
Okay.
Don't know why.
Oh my god.
Our ratings. We always let our guests go first. So Melanie and Rich, if you could do the honors.
Well, listen,
Out
I
of 10.
know it had some major plot holes. Okay, I know that we've discussed those.
Yeah.
I did think that the episode was very funny. I thought it was very funny. However, it was missing my favorite character, Arthur.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give it a 6.
Wow.
Oh.
6.
Ooh.
There we go.
It was very funny,
Yeah.
but no Arthur, man.
Yeah.
I can't.
I
That
agree.
loses a lot of points in Melanie's book.
It does.
Yep.
It does.
Mr. Rich Libutti.
Well, for me, in general, I would take 1 or 2 points off of anything in the later episodes because I don't get to sing "My back is getting tight," which is something that we did every single time in the
True.
earlier seasons until they
True.
shortened the intro.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So that'll bring it down to like maybe 8.5 for me, but I would say a 7.5, 7.5 out of
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Very. You're going to know my score, and it's going to be very similar.
Oh.
Jenna.
Well, we talked in the last podcast recording that I'm not really a fan of the holiday episodes, but this one is pretty funny. I do like this one, but it's, again, not something that I'm like, oh, I want to watch that episode. So I would say 7.2. I do like it better than the grocery store
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barely.
Barely, but it's just a little bit.
Dusty, you got to go first because.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is one of my favorite Thanksgiving episodes in King of Queens, and it's like, and it sucks because it didn't have Arthur in it, like Mel said. Like, you know me, if Arthur's in it, it's gonna be an 8.0 or above. But it had everybody else in it also: Lou Ferrigno, Gary Valentine, Patton Oswalt, and Victor Williams. Man, this is going to be tough because I gave a 9.2 for the supermarket store. So I'm going to have to give it a 9.3 since it is my favorite Thanksgiving episode. I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was hilarious. The whole episode. Don't give me a thumbs down. This was a good episode. I loved it. This was funny to me. It had me laughing throughout the whole episode.
It was
This is
a very
good.
funny
Yes,
episode.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
It is funny.
Yeah.
So 9.3.
9.3. So is it?
And it had
like
Nick Offerman in it, so like Nick Offerman,
Yeah.
I love Nick Offerman. So
So.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6.5 because I forgot about Nick Offerman.
Oh, all right.
He boosted a little for me. Yeah.
So boost it by a 0.5 point.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Dusty, is this in your top whatever or no?
it's not in my top 5 or top 10, but it is my favorite. I'm not gonna say my favorite holiday episode. It's my favorite Thanksgiving episode because I do have a favorite holiday episode. But this is definitely my favorite Thanksgiving episode. It's not a rookie store, and I'm getting 9.3. Definitely not a rookie store because I love this episode. I really enjoy this episode. But yeah, I'm
I have a
so
feeling
ready.
Steven is gonna
Yeah.
put the hammer down.
Exactly.
Oh,
I'm
the
so
hammer.
ready for this.
5.7.
Oh my
Bam.
God.
Drop the mic. 5.7. It was funny, but it did not do it for me.
That's the lowest score you've ever given.
Ever gave.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
And I'll tell you what, it would have got a lower score if it didn't have Nick Offerman in it. Okay.
Yeah.
It would have got a higher score if it had Arthur in it. So it does like up and downs.
I want to know what score you would have gave it if it didn't have Nick Offerman in it.
Oh, what did I give it? A 5.7? I already forgot.
Yeah.
Probably a 5.
You already forgot.
I already forgot.
Yeah.
Probably a 5.
Yeah.
Listen,
Damn.
Yeah.
so many. There's funny parts, but
Yeah.
it didn't blend all together. I don't know.
Dang.
I don't know.
So for you, the episode should have been called "Thanks for Nothing." Man.
That is freaking hilarious, Rich. Yes. It should have. Thanks for nothing, man.
Or how about "Thanks for Offer Man"?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
some wordplay in there. I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
Rich loves his puns.
I do
Yeah,
have to
I
point
do.
out that Carrie's cooking skills obviously have improved since season 1 to season 6.
Yes.
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 Speaking of the cooking skills, I need to know who puts raisins in their stuffing. She made a comment saying there was no raisins in the stuffing. Who the hell does that? I've never heard anything
Oh,
where you
I've
put
heard of
stuff-
it.
Lunatics.
Disgusting.
Lunatics.
What?
I've heard of it before.
That sounds disgusting.
Oh God. Oh man. Nope. I ain't
Disgusting.
messing with my stuff. No, thank you.
But then my cooking skills really are much like earlier, Carrie, where I don't cook at all.
I can relate.
So I really don't know if people put raisins in their stuffing. I've never seen it.
Ugh.
It sounds gross.
I did see Rich
Sounds
whipping
terrible.
up a pie earlier today.
Rich is the cook in our house.
I did.
Rich is definitely the cook.
It looks delicious.
I made a pie, and we
What
also
kind of
baked some
pie?
cookies.
you
So
go.
there you go. Well, I made a vegan
Ooh.
pumpkin pie.
Because we have two friends coming in from Syracuse for Thanksgiving, and one is a vegetarian and one is a vegan. So we made it
Very
in honor
cool.
of their visit.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's great.
Nice.
Melanie is a vegetarian, and I eat everything. I'm the only still surviving meat eater in our little, small little friend group. So.
Stay tough.
But I embrace all the cooking, so it's all good.
Stay strong, my brother.
Oh man. All right. So
Luckily, beer is vegan.
beer is vegan. There you go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
luckily.
There you go.
So, yeah.
All right. I think that's about it. I mean, we covered everything. I smashed the episode like I wanted to.
All right.
It just bothered me. Just bothered me a lot. Really did.
Man,
I'm surprised.
this is probably the worst episode for you.
Yeah. No, this is by far the worst.
Out of all
right.
the seasons, this one is your least favorite.
So
Yeah.
far.
Damn.
Yeah.
So far.
I really like if Arthur's not in the episode,
It's
it's something's missing for me.
yeah.
Because his chemistry with the other characters and
Yes.
stuff, and just is,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve thinks that the plot line was a bit patchy, so we watched it with a strong side.
I knew you were brewing something up there. I knew it.
Oh
That's awesome. Why don't you guys go ahead and plug your stuff? Where can people find you? Where can people watch you?
You can find us at Sirsy.com. That is spelled SIRSY.com. And we are on Facebook as Sirsy Band, and Instagram, and Twitter, and YouTube.
And probably the easiest place to find us, though, is episode 30 of the Shaggy Yuppie podcast.
Oh,
We're going to be doing a free live stream in December. On
Nice.
December 23rd, we're going to be doing a free live stream on YouTube that you can watch from anywhere in the world.
Sweet.
It's a Christmas special, kind of like the old school Christmas specials, like Donnie and Marie, and yeah.
What?
I don't know. dog.
What?
No,
Oh, I'm
it's gonna
not-
Uh-oh,
be
Jenna.
a lot less glitter. But yeah, and so we're gonna do some Christmas songs and also some Sirsy songs,
Nice.
and it's totally free, so people can watch and join us from their couch.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So yeah,
It will not be disappointing. I can guarantee you that.
so
Hell yeah.
So,
yeah.
awesome.
Definitely checking it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I think you guys. Will there be any comedy skits?
Most likely knowing us.
Yes.
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 Probably with plot holes
With
that are bigger than the plot holes from tonight's episode.
will Tony and Carla be making a cameo? Or you can't
maybe.
say.
Maybe.
Okay.
They've never celebrated a Christmas, really, so maybe
They
we should
have
them do
not.
that. Yeah,
We
yeah.
just had a Tony and Carla on location skit where they were following the band around on tour, selling burritos out of the back of their van. So Yeah.
All right.
So we'll see. Maybe they'll make an appearance in the Christmas
Jenna and Dusty
episode.
right now are like,
Well, I'm
what the
assuming
heck?
you guys take on some characters or something.
We
had during the pandemic, we did a live stream every Saturday night. We called it Saturday Night Live Streams. And we did music, and then we also did skits, and we had theme nights. So, like, we had, like, a Star Wars night, and we had, like, a Star Trek night.
That's
we had
awesome.
a Scooby-Doo night. And we, like, did, you know, our songs that kind of related to, like, for Star Wars night, we did a song of ours that was called Astronauts, and one that was called Paper Moon, and one that was called Mercury. So, like, we have a lot of space themes in some of our songs.
Nice.
So we did all of those songs, and then we also had comedy skits that broke up the music, kind of like they do on SNL. And we created some characters that I think are from Jersey or Boston.
I don't know.
We're not really sure.
They
but
yell a lot.
there's a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
And they're a couple, and they've traveled through outer space. And also, they've had a 1950s show, like a sitcom. They've done it all.
Oh,
So,
it's amazing.
Their names are
Oh
Carrie.
my gosh!
awesome.
Well, I will definitely be watching because that sounds amazing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So,
Dusty, can you please plug our stuff?
Let's try this again. All right, here we go. All right, Facebook is at Shutty Uppy Let's Talk King of Queens podcast. Instagram is at Shutty Uppy podcast. And TikTok is Newark Baseball Softball NC.
It all flows so wonderfully.
Yeah.
and this is where you do the famous impressions, the King of Queens impressions.
The
On,
reenactment.
Oh, on
TikTok?
TikTok, yeah,
So
yeah.
funny.
Me and my wife
I
haven't
haven't
done it
s-
in a while, but it's been about a month or two since we've done it, but we're getting ready to get back into it. She's starting to feel a
Good,
lot
good.
better, so. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into doing some King of Queen reenactments.
I'm excited to see it. We have not seen that
They're
yet. So, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Jenna, closing thoughts.
Again, happy Thanksgiving.
That's right. Oh, God.
All
So
right.
ready.
Well, Rich and Melanie, thank you very much for coming on.
Yes.
This
Thank
was
you.
a lot of fun,
Yeah.
sincerely. Thank
Yeah,
you guys for
awesome.
having us.
Awesome.
Glad to have
Yeah.
you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that would be fun.
Check out Sirsy wherever beer is sold and live music is played. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a good night.
Thanks,
Peace.
you too.
Thanksgiving.